residue or residual parts or blobs of the adhesive that we actually used. Sticks all extreme power. So this is what we've been using to seal up all of our holes. It's working really well. I obviously just didn't have enough of it when I actually put the skylight up. So I've cut away the excess up here, and I'm now going to jump up onto the roof and clean that up round about it. I'm actually taking down the fascia for the SkyMax XL or SkyMax Deluxe and Skyvent. Unlike the Max Air Fan Deluxe, the Skyvent itself just put this here so we've got good lighting on me. It's not that well made, to be honest. The fittings on the Sky Max Air Fan are sensational. Like, you put it in, you put the surrounding the fascia into the hole, and then the screw and bolt into each other, and then you put the fan down on it and screw it into position, and it gives a really good solid watertight seal. But the SkyMax XL or SkyMax Deluxe roof vent, skylight, it just basically is like a large piece of plastic that houses obviously the mechanism that opens the hatch up, but then it just simply screws into this piece of plastic, and look at the play in that. Like, it's a very soft thing to actually try and like clamp down to get like a proper watertight seal on the roof. On the most part we managed to get that pretty sealed, pretty tight, but we have noticed heavy rain when we drive the vehicle, there is a small leak on one of the corners of the vent, of the skylight. So we've taken that down, we've done a little bit of examination, and I think we've found the spot that's been the culprit for the water coming in. I think it's always good in a van conversion where you actually, if you're cutting holes in it, take a couple of weeks or take a week or so, put it through a power washer maybe, but have it mostly exposed, and then see if you have any leaks in these things, because I thought I'd done everything perfectly and I was like, dynamite, that's great, but it clearly is evident with the leaking on the floor. I didn't do everything perfectly. The windows on the side were perfect. The bunk window had a little bit of a leak. We remedied that issue, no problem. And now we're doing this one. And then after that, we're going to start cracking on with the ply line or the ply lining of the roof itself. The roof will have two stages. I've seen it done two different ways. I've seen it done with a cut ply lining to size and leave it out of the van, and then put the slats on top of it. It's going to have a slatted roof, so slats run all the way across, and they'll have little like 1/4 inch gaps in between them, and that's where you're going to see the ply lining. So what we're going to do is, because there's only two of us, I don't think we'll be able to fix it all outside the van and then put it up inside the van. We're going to put the ply lining up first, size it, cut it, sand it, paint it, install it, and then we'll just gradually put the slats on one at a time. I think that's probably the best option for us, and I think we'll it's a little bit slower of a process, but I think we'll more chance of getting it right first time than rushing about trying to get it done outside the van and it might not fit. So that's what we're going to do now. Huh?
Hold it. Can you hold it here?
Yeah, if we can get us to that angle. That's fine, just let me let it go. Of course, now you fucking fall, you piece of shit. Take 4! Yee. Doing? Okay. These are going to be the ceiling strips, the ceiling beams, and I'm just measuring them to size. They're slightly larger than we need. We need 160 inches, which is, what's that? Just shy of 13.5 feet, and that'll be the ceiling strips that we're going to use. Once we've cut them to size, we're going to use this coal run refined wood dye. This one that we're going to be using is Georgian medium oak. We give ourselves 2 or 3 coats of that. It gives a lovely rich oak colour, I guess, medium oak colour. So it's not too dark, but it's not too light is it either. Once we've done the 3 coats of that, we'll then put some with my beautiful assistant's help, Rust-Oleum, I think it is it? Yeah, Rustin's, the original Danish oil. We'll then put a coat of Danish oil on it, and that will seal it up. So we should be good by then. Here is one like blue PR. Here is one that Jess prepared earlier. It still has to be cut to size, but this gives you an idea of the colour of the wood that we're using. I'll give you a close up. It's pretty cool. So if you can think, these are going to be in the ceiling. They're going to be stuck to the ceiling like so, and they're going to have a 1/4 inch gap in between each beam. And we've got a sub ceiling up there that's already painted black, so you're going to get like a black background with a depth. It'll look pretty sweet. Here we go. measurised this correctly. These should be the exact length that we need. 160. So what I'm going to do, or what I'm doing just now, is I'm using this drill bit to pilot a hole through, then countersink a hole to drop the screw in, and then we'll put it up. We'll put wood glue in the back of it, screw it up, and then once we're finished, they're all measured, they're all sized, the holes are exactly in line with each other as they run across the beams themselves. But then we'll fill them with wood filler, we'll sand that down, very fine sandpaper, get it nice and smooth, flush to the surface, and then we'll stain that as well. There'll be a slight discoloration or slight colour difference between the wood filler and the wood itself, but it won't be overly noticeable. It may even just like give a knot-like effect, but it'll completely hide the screw, which is exactly the look we're going for here. There we go. There are other people who put this onto the sub ceiling before they actually install the ceiling. So you'd actually put the ply, place it on the ground, then put these boards on top of it, and then screw from behind. So it gives you a completely seamless connection, which is amazing. But we simply don't have the sheds or the workbenches and the tools to do so. we're going to do tonight.